What up, people? Before I get started today, if you find me even mildly amusing, please hit the subscribe button, like, comment. Please comment. I will always respond to everyone I have so far. With that being said, let's talk about this, folks. We're going to talk about the rash of gun sales. I say rash. How about the fact of they've had like 100,000, something like that, tens of thousands. It's a buttload of guns that have been sold over the last month. And the reason being for this is folks ain't crazy. Folks see all the National Guard being deployed, and see, with the government sometimes shit has a tendency to go south. And they just keep taking and overstepping sometimes until, there has to be a stopgap measure. Well, the Second Amendment for our country is that stopgap measure. Us being able to bear arms gives us the ability to push back just a little bit if the government gets crazy and gets out of hand. And back whenever the Second Amendment was passed, we just dealt with freaking the British and them being asses to us. And so, they had that mindset that no government should be able to dominate the people because we're of the people and shouldn't be able to dominate us. The government shouldn't. And see, guns are great equalizers. And even my wife don't like guns. I don't currently own a gun. I know how to use one, but I've never found that I've had to have one. But in the times that I have to have one, I've always had one around. I lived in a little town called Hellberg in Henry County, Alabama. And by little, it was 20 minutes in and 20 minutes out to the closest gas or grocery store. So if you didn't get anything when you were going in that you needed, you wasn't going to take the time to drive that hour. It was going to take you round trip to get what you needed. So when you were home, you were home. And there was a lot of people that lived. There was a few people, and I wouldn't say a lot, but there was a few people that lived out there and they enjoyed it. I didn't mind it, other than the fact that the distance I had to travel to everything. But when I went to live out there, even though my wife don't like guns, is currently the reason I don't have one, I had a shotgun close that my brother let me borrow. It stayed leaned up against my bed, or leaned up against the corner in the house. Box of shells on my nightstand. Come in handy one night when folks were trying to be up to no good. We were out there in the middle of nowhere. And it didn't take me shooting. All it took me was chambering the shell. Stepped out on the porch and they were hauling ass down the road. Why? Because I had that deterrent. Same difference. We have this written into our Constitution as a deterrent to keep people from being stupid. And by people, I mean the government. When the government gets crazy and starts overreaching, which a lot of people feel that they won't stop at what they're doing, they'll find it that that's the way that they can seek control, then that's exactly what they'll do. And if you don't have a stopgap measure, then you're just screwed. So that is our stopgap measure as far as the government goes. Not to let them reach too far, and if they reach too far, knowing that all these gun owners out here will fight back. So the government has to be and will always be mindful of that. Even though there's certain parties that would really love us to take all of our guns, just where they can leave you vulnerable to the oppression that you get when guns start disappearing, i.e. Chicago, Because you see, the law-abiding citizens will always give up the guns, but the criminals will not. Well, a lot of people realized I need to be armed and ready, and a lot of people have been buying guns left and right during this time. Because let's face it, the shit gets real, and it gets real bad, and people start trying to break in folks' homes, or the government tries to keep pushing and pushing past their limits. You want that stop. You want that stopgap, and that's what us as Americans will do. We will have that stopgap, and we will use it. So that's my opinion, and I know opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. So with that, peace, wash your hands. Like I said again, like, subscribe, and you'll have a great day. Bye.